Morning to all. Today you will learn about 5th lesson part 2 Indian rivers and water resources. In this lesson we have to discuss about water use, how the water is used, that inflows and outflows, and water use in Tungabhadra river basin. Okay, right. First of all, we have to know about Tungabhadra river. The Tungabhadra river is a river in India that starts and flow through a state of Karnataka during most of its course, before flowing along the border between Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and ultimately finally it joined the Krishna river near Sangameswaram village in Kurnool district of Andhra Pradesh. So do you know that? What is the length of that river? A river basin 71,417 kilometers. Understand? And where the Tungabhadra meets, means where the place the Tunga and Bhadra rivers meet, that it is Kodli, the place where the Tunga and Bhadra rivers meet, that ante Tunga Bhadra ee rendu rivers kalisi Tungabhadra ga form ayindi ekkadante Kodli. Okay, right. What is the use of water? Water is a resource that becomes available to us as an annual flow. That is, we try to estimate how much we would be able to use during the year. In order to do this, we need to recall the water cycle and estimate the inflows and outflows of water during the year. Understand? Outflows and inflows can be estimated at different levels. For small watersheds or an entire river basin, we can be estimated this kind of inflows and outflows. In a textbook is given here about. Now let us know about the idea of a water budget, as it would apply to a small or large regions such as a village or a district. In this lesson, how the Tungabhadra river water used that. Do you know in which state first time introduced that water budget? In which year it is? Recently only introduced that. Odisha state. Odisha. It is introduced in 2019 July. Okay, they followed that water budget introduced in that. Okay, right. Now we will learn about inflows and outflows water. Inflows means, what is inflow? Inflow means incoming. Understand? దీన్నే మనం అంతర్గత ప్రవాహాలు అంటాము. Means how the water comes to the earth. Understand? Here it is, for an area, inflow is equal to precipitation plus surface flow plus groundwater flow. Understand? This is known as inflow formula. Once again, what is that inflow of water formula? Inflow is equal to precipitation, surface flow plus groundwater flow. Understand? ఇక్కడ మనం ఇన్ఫ్లో అంటే అంతర్గత ప్రవాహము అని చెప్పొచ్చు. ఇన్ఫ్లో ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ప్రెసిపిటేషన్ అంటే అవపాతము అంటాము. అవపాతము ప్లస్ సర్ఫేస్ ఫ్లో మీన్స్ ఉపరితల ప్రవాహము ప్లస్ గ్రౌండ్ వాటర్ ఫ్లో. గ్రౌండ్ వాటర్ ఫ్లో మీన్స్ భూగర్భ ప్రవాహము. అండర్స్టాండ్? Surface flow includes rivers, streams, canals and other flows on the surface of. But groundwater flow, it is difficult to estimate, but it can be done. Understand? You all know that precipitation includes snow, dew, hailstorm and different forms of precipitation, the rainfall, everything, fog, snow, everything. Understand? To estimate the precipitation of an area, we have to take an average over many years, since precipitation varies from year to year. Understand? Right. Here you can observe that surface and groundwater flow for your area, whether a village or a town. Surface water flows from river or the canals of irrigation projects. You can also estimate. Understand? See here. Surface flow includes rivers, canals, streams and everything, water bodies. Okay, and so on there. Precipitation, you all know that it includes that snow, dew, hailstorm and fog, hailstorms, everything. Right? So now we will learn about outflow of water. What is this outflow? Outflow means బాహ్య ప్రవాహము అని చెప్తాము. అంటే ఎలా వాటర్ అనేది వెళ్ళిపోతూ ఉంది. How the water reaches into the atmosphere. This is known as outflow. Inflow means how the water comes to Earth's surface. Understood my point? Outflow of water. Outflows. The changing of water into vapor is called as evaporation. It takes place all the time in water bodies. So due to hot sunshine. Understand? You all know that. Evaporation. What is evapotranspiration? It includes evaporation and transpiration. Evapotranspiration means what it is? Evaporation and transpiration is known as evapotranspiration, right? So what is transpiration? Living things also give off water into the atmosphere through their breathing process called as transpiration. Understand? The total amount of water added to the atmosphere from both the evaporation and transpiration is called as evapotranspiration. Understand? Water flowing out via surface flows and groundwater. Some amount of water goes out through streams. And during monsoons, a portion of rainfall percolates into the soil and recharges the aquifers. అంటే మాన్సూన్ టైంలో వాటర్ అనేది ఎక్కువగా రీఛార్జ్ అవుతుంది. రీఛార్జ్ అంటే ఏంటి? మోర్ డెవలప్ గ్రౌండ్ వాటర్ అనేది ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది డ్యూ టు పెర్కులేషన్ టు ద సాయిల్ వాటర్. సో వాటర్ గోస్ ఇన్ టు వెరీ డీప్ aquifers and becomes unavailable. Means what it is? Aquifers అంటే బాగా లోతైన ప్రాంతాలకు వెళ్ళిపోతుంది and becomes unavailable. It's not available to us. Understand? Some underground water becomes a part of flow and appears in streams and rivers. Next one, water for agriculture. Water for agriculture is available either through rainfall or irrigation. Understand? Soil has some capacity to store moisture and so it cannot store the excess of water during the floods. It would damage the crops during the flood situation. Understand? Recently in North India, every time occurred that floods. In Andhra region also, sometimes East and West Godavari floods occur. Okay, mostly affected that floods coastal areas. Understand? Similarly, in the case of drought, ante karuvu samayamlo, famine, there is not enough moisture in the roots and so the crops will die. Understand? Crops will wither or wilt. Understood? Water used for domestic purpose and for animals. Water is used for drinking, cooking, washing and cleaning and for animals. Planning to make minimum amount of water available to all is needed. And next one is water for industrial use. Water is required in the manufacturing process. This demand often competes with domestic and agriculture uses. Understood? The industrial work ki చాలా వాటర్ అనేది అవసరం అవుతుంది. మోస్ట్లీ ఇన్ ద మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ అంటే అవి తయారు చేయడానికి, గూడ్స్ తయారు చేయడానికి చాలా ఎక్కువగా. ఈవెన్ మినరల్స్, you know, in 8th class you learnt that minerals and mining lesson. At the time also, purify of the minerals or cleaning of the minerals, we have to use more and more water. Recycling of used water and control of pollution are two changes in this respect. Understand? In a region or a village, water is available in form of flows as well as stock that is already available. We have to be very careful about stock and flow to make an analysis. అంటే ఏంటి, మనం ఎంత వాటర్ అనేది స్టాక్ ఉంచాలి, ఎంత వాటర్ వాడాలి అనేది మనం అనలైజ్ చేయాలి. అండర్స్టాండ్? ట్యాంక్స్, ponds, lakes and wells are used for surface storage. Surface storage వీటి వలన మనం స్టోర్ చేస్తాం. ట్యాంక్స్, పాండ్స్, చెరువులు, పాండ్స్, లేక్స్ and wells. Understand? Water is drawn from the wells and tube wells. How do we get that water? Yes, the water, get water from the wells and tube wells. Depending on comparative rates of inflow and outflow, and the availability of the inflow and outflow, we can judge what is happening to the stock of water over many years. The major problem today is The depletion of groundwater storage, depletion means decreasing, and tendency not to care about the availability for future generations. Understand? Here, not to care about the availability for future generation. We are using that more and more water, then groundwater depletion. The annual flows and stocks that recharge wells and tube wells in the water that is available for us. We should keep our needs in this range or in this process. When we dig into the deeper aquifers, means water available places. Aquifers means water available places. This is like mining water that has collected over thousands of years. This is to be done only in extreme drought situation and replenished in good rainfall years. Understand? It is అంటే మళ్ళీ మంచి రైన్ఫాల్ ఉన్న సమయంలో అవి మళ్ళీ ఫిల్ అవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది. Understood? Right. The Tungabhadra basin has two parts. One is the upper and middle catchment area and lower portion area there. In that first one, upper and middle catchment, it is lies in Karnataka. Understand? And the lower portion of the catchment area in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh regions. There is a lot of difference in water availability between these two types of regions. Rampart felling of trees, అంటే ఎక్కువ మొత్తంలో ట్రీస్ని కొట్టడం జరుగుతుంది. Rampart felling means more amount of felling of trees. And mining activity. So these are mainly causing for forest degradation and destruction of flora and fauna. Lack of forest cover leads to runoff of water and flash floods. అంటే ఇవన్నీ కూడా దేనికి ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతున్నాయి? ఫ్లడ్స్ రావడానికి, సడన్ ఫ్లడ్స్ రావడానికి, ఫ్లాష్ ఫ్లడ్స్ అన్నాడు. సడన్ ఫ్లడ్స్ రావడానికి, అలాగే వాటర్ ఫ్లో అవడం కోసం ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అనేది ఫేస్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. అలాగే ఫ్లోరా అండ్ ఫనా ఇవి కూడా డిస్ట్రక్షన్ అయిపోతూ ఉన్నాయి. ఎప్పుడైతే ట్రీస్ అనేవి కొట్టేస్తున్నామో ఇవన్నీ కూడా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వస్తాయి. ఓకే. The Tungabhadra Dam has gradually lost its water storage capacity over the years. అంటే తుంగభద్ర వాటర్ డ్యామ్ తాలూకా వాటర్ స్టోరేజ్ కెపాసిటీ అనేది గ్రాడ్యువల్గా తగ్గిపోతూ ఉంది. తుంగభద్ర డ్యామ్ స్టోరేజ్ కెపాసిటీ వాస్ 3,766 million cubic meters. Now its storage capacity is lost by nearly 849 million cubic meters of water. What is the reason? Due to silt caused by mining dust. Silt అంటే అది బాగా మడ్ wastage material. Understand? Due to mining dust and soil erosion and debris, ఇవన్నీ కలిసి అక్కడ వాటర్ స్టోరేజ్ కెపాసిటీని తగ్గించడం జరుగుతుంది. అండర్స్టాండ్? అంటే మైనింగ్ వల్ల వచ్చినటువంటి డస్ట్, సాయిల్ ఎరైజన్. అలాగే సాయిల్ ఎరైజన్ అంటే ఏంటమ్మా? డ్యూరింగ్ దట్ ఫ్లడ్స్, soil erosion. Debris means waste material. Understand? The conflicts between Karnataka and Telangana and Andhra Pradesh are generally related to use of its water. Water is shared between the states based on the agreements. Then they can clear and solve their problems by sharing of water. Which water it is? Tungabhadra river water. Understand? often conflicts there, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Okay. This area is ideal for semi-arid crops like jowar, cotton, finger millets. Semi-arid crops means they required less water. They required less amount of water. It's called semi-arid crops. But the major crops grown here are paddy and sugarcane. Cultivation of such crops has altered the water sharing balance. There is a significant difference between farmers with access to land and irrigated water and those without access. So far, a fair use of water for all. Change in cropping pattern would have to be encouraged throughout the basin. Understand? With industrialization and growth of urban areas, demanding for water increased. Understood? There are 27 functioning large units and 2543 small units in the river basin. Understand? ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి ఇక్కడ ఇండస్ట్రీస్ అనేవి 27 అయితే బిగ్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్ ఉన్నాయి అండ్ స్మాల్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్ అనేవి 2543 ఉన్నాయి. అండర్స్టాండ్? అండ్ హౌ మచ్ ఆఫ్ వాటర్ it releases into this river basin? This is very important. Okay, they consume a big amount of water per day. Industries were permitted to discharge effluents into the river, but following public protests in 1984 regarding discharge of molasses that killed fish on a large scale, laws were enacted requiring industry to discharge only treated effluents only. అంటే ఏంటి? శుద్ధి చేసినటువంటి వాటర్ని మాత్రమే, అంటే క్లీన్డ్ వాటర్ మాత్రమే వదలాలి అని చెప్పిస్తున్నాయి. అయినా కూడా ఎఫ్లుయెంట్స్ని వదులుతూ ఉన్నారు, అంటే వేస్ట్ వాటర్ని. అండర్స్టాండ్? So these laws are not implemented forcefully, hence severe pollution of the river system, it continues. Understand? అంటే ఇక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి తుంగభద్ర నదీ వ్యవస్థ తీవ్ర కాలుష్యానికి గురవుతూ ఉంది. అండర్స్టాండ్? In 1984లో ఏం జరిగింది? నదిలోకి వదిలినటువంటి బెల్లపు మడ్డి వలన పెద్ద ఎత్తున చేపలు అనేవి చనిపోవడం జరిగింది. At the same time, people also protested and demand. Okay, so then onwards, the industry should release good water only. Means what it is? They have to release that threatened water. So from that onwards, the industry is to discharge only treated effluents only. అంటే శుద్ధి చేసినటువంటి జలాలను మాత్రమే వదలాలి. రైట్. We have to utilize that water in proper manner only. Otherwise, pollution, all the water will be polluted. So, due to the development process, understand? Due to the development process, one side development process, another side we have to observe that pollution also. We should not pollute the drinking water. Understand? And next important one, so socio-economic aspects are very important for water use management. Understand? Right. Thank you. Thank you for listening my voice. మరిన్ని వీడియోస్ కోసం మా ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి, షేర్ చేయండి అండ్ ఫైనల్లీ క్లిక్ ఆన్ ది బెల్ ఐకాన్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.